Today I'm going to show you how to control your instrument using LabView without a driver.
When we use this, sometimes instruments don't come with a driver, and in other instances, drivers don't let you take full control of everything that the instrument has to offer.
Let's get started with a blank VI. You should be looking at your untitled front panel. What we want to be looking at is the block diagram. So if you go to Window and click Block Diagram, this is the page we want to start at. Now if you right click and pull up your palette, the little down arrow here, we want to go to Instrument I/O, and then you want to go to Visa, and I suggest pinning this to your window here. And basically what we're going to be doing is sending Skippy commands, which means standard commands for programmable instrumentation, to a 33522A function generator from Agilent. I chose this particular instrument because it doesn't have a driver yet. There will be one, but right now if you want to speak to this instrument through LabView, you have to use Visa and Skippy. Alright, now let's get started. First thing you want to do is open a session. If you go to Visa Open, put that over here. If I go back up, next you're going to want a Visa Write, and most likely you're going to want a Visa Read. And then when you're all done, you want to close the session to the instrument. So these are kind of the four main building blocks that are commonly used when using Visa. Now if we go over to the Visa Open, this tab right here is where you pick your instrument. If you right click on that first tab and you go to Control, it'll create a Visa resource name. Now if we look at the front panel, you can see we can select our instrument now. Click the little down arrow, 33522A. Now I'm going to go back to the block diagram. The other thing you need to fill in here is this error in no error. If you right click again and go to Create, and again pick Control, it creates a control for this error in no error, and you'll be done with that for the day basically. Now you need to tie your instrument name to the Visa Write and the error in to the Visa Write. Now the next step is putting in the commands that you want to send to the instrument. If you right click, go to Create, you can either do Constant or Control. Control lets you see it on the front panel. I'm going to go ahead and pick Constant for this one. And I'm going to move it up here so I got a little more room and make this box a little bigger because I'm going to be sending a few different commands. Okay, I went ahead and pasted in a few Skippy commands. I'll go through this in a little more detail in a few seconds. As you can see, I ended with a syserror query. Since I'm doing this query, I need to do a read afterwards, and I'll show you how to connect that up now. So you need to connect the resource name, and then the error out and error in. Now with a read, you need to define a byte count for the data that's going to be returned. If you right click, go to Create, and I choose Constant, I'm going to enter 1024, then go ahead and do Visa resource out, do the error out. Now when you do a read, you're going to want to see the result. So on this read buffer, if you right click, go to Create, you want to create an indicator. I'm going to give it a new name of error, and this indicator will show up on the front panel. If I go to the front panel, you can see right over here the results of the error query will show up right here. I'm going to go ahead and make this a little bigger. Let me go back to the block diagram. Okay, now we're ready to run. I'm going to go ahead and push go. Look at the front panel here. Alright, we got no error, so that's good. Now if we take a quick look at the Skippy commands here, you can see that I'm setting the function generator up on channel 1 to have a function of sine. I'm setting the frequency to 1 kilohertz. I'm setting the units to volts peak to peak, and then I'm setting the amplitude to 2 volts peak to peak. I'm using 0 offset, and then I'm telling the output on channel 1 to expect a load of 50 ohms, and then I'm turning output 1 on. At the end of it, I'm sending a sys to error just to make sure I didn't make any mistakes in my Skippy commands. When you create a string like this, you need to put a leading colon in front of the root commands that follow *RST. This indicates to the parser that you're starting a new root command. The 33522A is a 2-channel box, and you designate channel 1 and channel 2 by using source 1. This is the root command in this instance. If I put source 2, I'd be talking to channel 2.